Hello guys, welcome back. Today we're back with another amazing video. I'm generally liking to do Minecraft videos more. I generally like war kind of stuff, nation kind of stuff more, and I haven't really liked playing Roblox as much. I still will definitely do Roblox videos. And you original fans who watched my SCP Area 02 videos, don't worry, more will come out. It's just I haven't really liked some of the stuff they've been doing. Yes, the more recent update has been good, but I still don't really like doing it as much. So I'm just going to be doing Minecraft and other Roblox game videos. And maybe a Fortnite video or two in the meantime. So the Lapis are obviously this global kind of superpower. They have the puppet of the diamond. They have messed up some of the Moss's plans. And now the kelp are going to suffer a traumatic loss, which will be the obsidian or crying obsidian moving in and taking a decent portion of their territory, fracturing their power, and let's get into the battle. So it doesn't really last long. It's a very quick, easy battle for the crying obsidian. And they basically just take the kind of stuff that they want. They don't really take anything else. And the stuff that they want is generally comprises of this area, which was the kelp's main military kind of barracks. So that was a massive loss for the kelp. The kelp kind of are broken from this, and they quickly lose kind of all of their resources. The diamonds step in and take over this area. It was kind of a joint operation between the obsidian and the diamond. But now, or crying obsidian, I'm still used to calling them the obsidian because, well, they used to be the obsidian. So now they have this area, and this obviously proves as a really nice area for them to grow their territory and to show off their power. And the Lapis love this, since this further deteriorates the power of the moss and crushes their willpower to thrive, and it's just horrible for the moss. So this just really ups their power, and yeah. So the obsidian have established themselves as a power, and the kelp, of course, do kind of react to this. and they can't really react all that much, but they react a little bit, and they build part of their military stuff over here. And they are furious. But guess who is more furious? The Moss. They had just fought a war with the Lapis Empire. And now one of their puppets, or their only puppet, just was beaten in a war. And then some of their puppets' territory was taken by the puppet of their enemy. So this obviously isn't a good thing for them. They hate this, and they want revenge. But they can't really get revenge because all of their troops are over here. And the kelp, even though they are decently powerful, they're not really powerful. I need to clear some territory. Or not clear some territory, clear some inventory. And so the Moss are furious. They can't really do anything about this, though. And the kelp are now kind of outmatched. And this kingdom, the Redstone, now they tell the other kingdoms to unify with them. They've kind of built a palace and it is large, and they have all these different homes. And so they're really building up their nation. Well, of course, the others are not. They're just weak. They're quite pathetic. They don't really have any power. And so the Redstone are trying to get everybody to join them. They're like, hey, come over here. We have power. We have security. And we are just a superior society. So everybody's kind of like, okay, we'll join. And the Reds are slowly becoming... So I need to first unify this. But the Reds are slowly becoming a powerful... Not powerful. They're not really powerful. But they're slowly becoming a nation that is respectable. Like, they have been unified now, and of course they're not really fully together. They're not really fully unified, but they are now, like, they're not unified as a people, but they are unified in the sense of they're all together under one crown. So the Reds finally are unified, but not under the Red Crown. The Red Crown is gone. It is destroyed. There's nothing left of it. They're unified under the Redstone Crown. And while they don't really seem powerful, they have an immense amount of territory. No nation but the Lapis can honestly brag about how much territory they have, because clearly the Moss did have tons of territory. They still have quite a bit of territory. But they didn't really have near as much as the Reds have, or Redstone. I need to remember to say that. So, they are quite... Basically, no one can really brag except for, oops. Forgot the item, or button. Okay. They can't really... The only person who can really brag is the Lapis. And now the Redstone can brag. And so the Redstone also decide to expand quite a bit outwards. Not that much outwards, but a decent amount outwards. Via just expansion with borders, not walls. And they are starting to become large. Not massive, but large. And remember, the Red Empire used to be this massive society, but it had a massive military. These guys, while they do have the large military, they don't have a massive military. And they are very spread out. I guess they kind of do have a massive military, but it's not that massive. The Lapis see all of this building, and they kind of realize, well, we can do that too. We can build up our nation like that too. And so they start walling off all of the territory. And this is... They are a massive society, a massive empire. They have an incredible amount of territory and a massive military. Of course, only a few episodes ago, the Moss had been the ruling civilization. They had been powerful, but then they quickly crumbled because they had taken too much. They had literally conquered the majority of the world, and they paid dearly for doing that. And they're still powerful. Like, they're not, like, weak. But it's just how they were and how they are now. And how they are now is pretty weak. Like before, they were powerful, very expansive, a massive nation. Now they're just tiny. No one really cares about them. And the Lapis decide to get a large amount of land for their own, again, and wait, I need to redo this. They need to kind of build their territory, their size. And yeah, so they're just gonna have this walled off area, then they're gonna have their front area, and then they're gonna kind of make this walled off, and so a 2-layer wall for their military area, and a 1 kind of layer wall for their outer area. And so finally, after a long while, these houses are destroyed. They're gonna destroy them, and so they've been destroyed. And now the Lapis have finally cleared the center area for their massive military project, which is to just make the world's largest military. So obviously the Lapis are definitely the nation that's thriving the most. They have this absurd military, and when the Moss had built their military area, everybody was kind of thinking, oh, this is gonna be the main thing in the world. This is gonna be like a crazy thing, and they're gonna be the most powerful military force for so many episodes. Well, immediately their nation had collapsed, and then they just were pathetic, and immediately other nations started gathering massive militaries, such as the Lapis, who we can see are dominating the world. And they, of course, have their dictator who loves this. He has been a dictator for a while, not forever, but here's a little bit history about the Lapis. It isn't really a dictator or an emperor, it's more of a dynasty. It's the Lapis dynasty, kind of. Or line of rulers. But the Lapis had their original ruler, And he was the ruler who had separated from the blues and then fought with the blues, and then his son fought with the blues, and then when the blues were gone, he fought other nations, and then his grandson fought other nations, and now you have his great-grandson who had just fought the moss, gained a little bit of territory, and now completes this absurd military, like, super fortress. And the super military fortress kind of thing is going to be the center of the world's power. It is going to be kind of the, like, location of power. And you may be thinking, well, you kind of told us this about the moss. You kind of told us this about the reds. But I didn't say that. Well, I kind of did. But I didn't really say that the reds. Never mind. But it still is this kind of a center of the world's power. The reds, even though they are completely gone, they are completely burnt to crisp, they're gone forever. The redstone kind of continues that legacy of an empire. They're not really an empire, because they're not ruling over another nation. They're not ruling over multiple peoples. They're just ruling over themselves. But they are massive, so I'll just call them an empire. The world kind of was centered around them, and is still centered around them. And with the Lapis, that's the same thing. The Lapis took over the diamond, and now the diamonds are pushing into... Or, not the Lapis took over the diamond. They took over the gold, and made the gold their puppet, and renamed them the diamond. And then the diamonds pushed into the kelp, and the Lapis had been involved in many wars. And in this episode, we're going to see a massive, massive, massive conscription of soldiers so that the Lapis can have their another fight with the moss. Because remember what had happened when the moss went on a rampage and took over the reds and took part of the Lapis's territory and pushed over here, took over large parts of this. They had kind of just gone crazy, and they destroyed a massive part of the Lapis population, and they hurt a lot of their civilians. And so now the Lapis are kind of getting back at them for what they had done, and are trying to destroy their entire nation. Now, the diamond, of course, after their expansion, do expand a little bit more, gain some territory here, and now we're going to start seeing the diamond kind of taking this territory as an area to expand their influence. So they're going to put a soldier here. And they won't grow that much, but they have done this, and this is pretty good. Now, as a little recap of the episode, we have seen the Lapis gaining tremendous amounts of land, the Redstone Empire. I'll say the Lapis Empire and the Redstone Empire. The Redstone Empire gaining a small amount of land and uniting, and the moss not really doing anything, and the kelp being beaten by the obsidian. Now the obsidian have gained lots of land, and the diamond have gained a little bit of land. So this is a hardship time for the moss. They were beaten by the lapis, and their puppet, the kelp, were beaten by the obsidian. It wasn't really much of a fight with the obsidian, but it was a tremendous fight with the lapis. And now the kelp are kind of just waiting for everything to collapse here, and the kelp to be driven to the ground. The moss are sad, depressed. They can't really grow because they don't really want to. They're scared to grow. And their loyalty is super low. But yeah, so that is about it for this episode. The 9th episode. Wow. Stay tuned, and there will be another war next episode. Goodbye. Oh, and also make sure to